Hey guys, welcome back to another segment of Dreaming Night Build. I'm so looking forward to talking about today's session. We are going to be covering Q4. And what does that mean for us is that we are closing out the year. Like, how crazy 2025. It is hard to believe that time goes as fast as it does. And every year I notice that the women who end the year strong aren't necessarily the ones who worked the hardest. They're the ones who used Q4 intentionally to close chapters, to celebrate wins, and to prepare strategically for what is next. So, we are going to be talking about using Q4 as both a season of reflection and preparation, not focusing on the burnout or the chaos throughout the entire year. So, the power of Q4, why it matters. Q4 is the bridge between what was and what's to come. A lot of people want to slow down at the end of the year. But this is actually, in my opinion, it's actually the sweet spot for gaining momentum. This is an opportunity for us to really reflect and move forward with grace. I believe that it brings clarity, closure, and calibration to everything that we've experienced. And it's basically a time period that allows us to evaluate what was working, what wasn't working, how did things come together for us, what relationships did we build? What were the results of all the actions that we took? So, what my thought here is, and when you're approaching the end of the year, is that it's important to take the time to reconnect to your purpose and your long term vision, to have the time to be able to restructure the systems before you go into the new year, and to really get that clarity for what is next. So then we look at the preparation. How are we preparing and setting the foundation for the new year? Q4 is the perfect time to play with our intentions before the noise of January starts. And that's always what I'm thinking about is what is going to be the noise? What is going to be the chaos that's going to prevent me from reaching my goals? If we audit our time, our finances, and our priorities in Q4, then we are going to be ready for Q1. So we want to revisit our business model and our clients' experiences. Are you currently evaluating that? Are you currently looking at that? Are you also looking at what digital products you're using? And what about your physical spaces? All of these things matter. You can create your Q1 action plan now and not wait till after the holidays. Now is the time. So let's start aligning our mindset, our routines, and everything that we are putting forward for 2026. Let's start looking at how we can create something that is going to come together seamlessly and create flow. So when we think about Q4, we want to think about finishing strong. So what does that mean to us? It's important to create the space that's necessary in order for that strength to happen. Because it's not just about ending the tasks, it's about the emotional and energetic release that we're having with that closure and what we're letting go of. We want to be able to let go of the things that didn't work out for us. It's okay. We're going to look at those things, remove them, let them go, and start reflecting on what we've accomplished and start celebrating it. We want to also look at tying up the loose ends in our businesses, relationships, commitments, and say, you know what? We're happy with where we are, even if it's not the ideal perfect space or the goal is achieved exactly as we wanted. We're giving ourselves closure of that, and we're able to move forward. So we want to let go of what no longer serves the goals. Looking at our clients, our habits, our mindsets, truly and authentically letting go. And also looking at how we can share the practices that promote growth, like journaling, gratitude lists, or having a potential closeout day. Closing, and then we're moving forward. It's really hard to achieve our goals if our hands are full and we are all over the place, as many of you busy entrepreneurs know. So closing out the year in gratitude and recognizing that we have come so incredibly far, that where we are now is absolutely worth putting in the work for that self-awareness, for that self-reflection to move forward and ultimately plan for success. When we start scheduling the downtime and those rest periods, we are going to set ourselves up for success because when you do that mini reset, that's actually the time where it allows you the chance to recognize this is what I need. That I didn't receive this year, so I'm going to incorporate it this next year. Okay. You need to understand what is it that is essential at this time. We have different seasons of life. There are transitions from children growing up, moving into a different role in your business, potentially adding on different types of clients. We need to recognize that. We need to understand what those essential key components are before we move forward into 2025, setting these big, immaculate goals. So, one thing I want you to do today is to set one major goal before December 31st. What is that goal? What do you want to achieve? It doesn't have to be something massive. It can be something very simple, but have something in mind that you want completed before 2026. And what is your theme going to be? What is your word going to be for next year? What space are you moving into? And what kind of community are you going to surround yourself with? What kind of support are you going to have? Because we need to have that at the forefront of everything that we do. If we don't have a support system, we don't have a community, ultimately, we're doing all of this alone. So who are those individuals for you? I know I say this all the time. This is one point that I hit home often, but it makes all the difference in the world when you have somebody and have a group of individuals that are in the thick of it with you. So we want to encourage you to take just one step today, one step closer to what those big immaculate goals are and closing out your year. So I want you to take the time, find it within the next week or two to sit down and assess 2025. What needs to be different? What needs to be more aligned? What needs to be more consistent for you? Everything is within here. You have the capacity to be able to change, reframe, enhance, minimize anything that you experienced. So look at the priorities. What is most important? And look at how 2026 can be the best year yet. Thank you for tuning in today to Dream, Ignite, Build. I hope you'll subscribe to us, and we look forward to seeing you next week.